Okay. Sad business, right? Holy smokes. Um, Let me just give you the lyrics for that piece, just so that you kind of understand the gravity of what's happening. Basically, she's dying, but um, here's what the lyrics are. When I am laid, I'm laid in earth. May my wrongs create. No trouble in thy breast. When I am laid in earth. May my wrongs create. No trouble in thy breast. Remember me, but forget my fate. 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 Sad. Oh my gosh, this is just gonna ruin my day and probably yours too. But it's so cool though. It's okay. So watch what happens. Okay, so before we get into the analysis, I want to talk about a couple notation things that are in this that we may have never seen. So what you may have picked up on when you heard that is that the bass line and therefore chord progression is really a repeating cycle. You know, it's really circular. So I've just kind of notated it once here for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Oh no, it actually starts here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 6-bar pattern. It basically repeats from here to here. I just notated it weird. You'll see. So it goes in a loop. That means, and I think we've talked about when we talked about form and things, we can put a name on this. We could call it a chaconne if we wanted. We could call it a theme and variation. We could call it a passacaglia. Probably passacaglia works the best because we're really focused on a bass line. But regardless of all of that, a couple other notation things. One thing that you'll notice is that I have a whole bunch of notes in red here. This is just a MuseScore thing. The reason that MuseScore put these in red is because during our previous example, I had this line set up as a violin. Here I switch it to bass clef so that basically these two staves would act as a piano. Notes in red to MuseScore is saying those are out of the range of the instrument. It's saying I'm asking a violin to play super low. Even here, I'm asking the violin to play too low. So it's saying I can't really play those notes, so I'm going to play them an octave up, which is interesting. It does play these notes, but I think it plays them an octave higher, or two. So I'm going to leave it as violin because it's actually kind of a nice little string sound. I just tested it out, and I rather like it. So I think we are hearing these notes. So, but they're in red because MuseScore is saying I'm not really playing them where you wrote them because that's impossible for that instrument to do. Couple other notation things. This is in the time signature of 3/2. I don't know. We've done so many classes. I can't recall if we've talked about the meter of 3/2. But it should make sense to you, even if you haven't seen it before. What this means is that there are going to be 3 half notes, 2 beats. 2 beats gets the, 2 quarter notes gets the beat. So 3 half notes per bar, like that. Okay. We use 3/2 usually at a slow tempo to basically give us a really like plodding along 3/4. It doesn't have to be at a slow tempo, but it tends to work well that way. And for whatever reason, 3/2 happens to be a really good meter for just really slow, sad stuff. It's like the saddest meter that you could have. That might be because of this piece. I don't know. But that's 3/2. Another thing, where did it go? Here. There's a double dot. I think we've seen double dots before, but let me just remind you what that means. So we know that 1 dot means half again is added. So a half note with a dot means that it's going to get 3 beats, right? So it's going to get 2 beats being a half note. The dot is going to add a beat, because it's half of that. So now it's 3 beats. 2 dots means we take half of that again. So the first dot gave us a quarter note. The second dot is going to give us half that, which is an eighth note. So now this means 3.5 beats. It's a little confusing. We don't use them all that often because they do get confusing. But in these slower tempos, it can be efficient to have. So 3.5 beats. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5, 6, and then we're out. Okay. I think that's everything that's weird notationally about this. Let's hear my little rendition. So I just did kind of one pass through the sequence. Here's what it sounds like. And I left the vocal part, which is this, as just piano. Okay. All right. So let's analyze this sucker. See what we got.